And so we're looking at a lot of different ways to ensure that we retain our faculty. We're also going to expand that analysis to our staff folks. Again, it's not a single person or a group that allows this university to achieve excellence. It's all of us. And we need to make sure, obviously within certain constraints of financials that we're looking at, but that we take care of all of our employees on this campus.
Financials are a really big deal, and something that a lot of folks, when they think about a university campus, oftentimes, where I think of my own alma mater in Winston-Salem, really being kind of surrounded and not everyone's seeing it.
Right.
And of course, Coastal Carolina University, between whether it's 544 or 501, oftentimes folks don't see right into the campus. So they think about it over there and, oh, it's probably doing just fine. But it really is, there are issues on the statewide basis. You have to think about finance.
Well, we do. We are roughly a $120 million a year operation. So it's a sizable budget that we have. We get about $16 million from the state. So the rest of the money is tuition driven, as well as other financial monies that we can get into the university itself.
Right.
But it is something you look at every day, and it's something that we need to make sure that we're managing our money properly, that we're spending it properly, and a lot of that is really focusing on linking our budgets to the strategic direction of this university.
Great. You've got a very active board as well.
We do.
And a local chairing the board, which is wonderful. Billy
Absolutely.
Alford there, but a very active board that you work with on how often does the board interface with, let's say, the president? I mean, how often are you?
It varies by board member. I mean, we have meetings every other month. I mean, it's one of the things that when I became president, worked with Chairman Alford to increase the activity for board members with committee assignments as well as having them on campus. I want them to know what we're doing. I want them to be actively participating in the activities of the university itself. Obviously, those that are closer to the university, there's more involvement. But there are a lot of things on this campus that we're trying to do that I've gone to the board and have asked for their assistance. And they have stepped up to the plate and have delivered.
That's tremendous. It's been exactly a year now since ascending to the position as president. Lots happened over the last 12 months, literally May of '07. A lot's happened over the last 12 months. See, a real big push has been university reorganization.
Right.
Can you give viewers a sense of exactly, if someone said, I understand you all are going through or continuing a reorganization, what exactly does that mean? How does it impact the area?
The impact to the area should be relatively minor. At least that's what I'm hoping it will be. You know, I go back to when I was going through the presidential search. One of the things that I was saying throughout is, and while it's very simple to say, it obviously is much more difficult to put in place, but your structure has to be aligned to your strategy. As we have moved forward with the strategic planning, and we're getting close now to the point where, one, we've redefined our mission. That has been approved through all levels of the state. We are now ready to provide the overall strategic plan to the Board of Trustees at our June meeting. What the strategic plan is doing is setting the roadmap for our future. If form follows function, we've got the function in place. We've got the strategic initiatives laid out. I need to make sure that we have the appropriate structure that's going to allow us to achieve those strategic goals. And that's really what the reorganization is about, is realigning the pockets on this campus so that they're all moving toward the strategic direction.
And the strategic plan is, it sounds like the first of a kind.
Well, I'm not sure if it's the first of a kind.
Excuse me, here, that's right. I mean, the first strategic plan initiated by the university, or no? Have they
there have been strategic plans on this campus. What I think was different about this one is Executive Vice President Eddie Dyer had initially used the comment that we opened up the flaps on the tent. It wasn't just a group of people on this campus, from faculty, staff, administrators, putting a plan together. We have them, but we wanted to involve our community. We wanted to involve all of our stakeholders. We wanted to involve anybody that touched this university. And we had broad representation. And I think when we unveil the plan, I think people are going to see what that broad representation actually brought about.
Yes, you're spiking some interest here.
Absolutely.
We're not going to let anything out here at the table. I suspect we were with Dr. Dyer there in the Wheelwright Auditorium a number of months ago. And of course, he was highlighting Dr. Taylor Domke DeMont, and of course all of her efforts there to really reach out and, as you said, open the flaps and involve the community. And that involved also traveling around to make sure the community wasn't necessarily traveling to Conway or wasn't traveling up 501 or 544, but you all were coming to the community.
We went to the community. Again, we wanted to hear what they perceived Coastal Carolina University was about.
Right.
And we've got a lot of information coming in that some of it was very positive, right. Some of it, they gave us some challenges that we faced.
Right.
That's what we needed.
Yes.
And that enabled us to really put a plan together that will, quite frankly, take us certainly the next 5 to 10 years, but it's going to chart the path for the future of this university for the next 50 years.
That's tremendous, Dr. DeCenzo. That is wonderful. As we think about it for our viewers in the Myrtle Beach area proper, or that side of the waterway, is there some hope for them that they will get back the old Myrtle Square Mall location, or obviously not that location, but to get back? I know you've got a campus down in Litchfield, one down in Georgetown, or have had
right.
presence down there. Clearly this major campus right here. What about any opportunities there in the Myrtle Beach proper?
We currently have some discussion going with 2 organizations
right.
to revitalize the Myrtle Beach campus.
Yes.
It's a must. We have to do that. We have lost our branding ability in Myrtle Beach. We've lost significant numbers of students who were coming to the Myrtle Square Mall, and it's my hope that within the next 12 months we will have a facility up and running in the Myrtle Beach, downtown Myrtle Beach area.
That's tremendous. I think I also saw a stated plan to grow the head count to 12,500 within the next 5 years. That's a very aggressive goal as well.
Well, it's an aggressive goal, but we're not growing just head count. We're growing quality head count.
Good. Yeah.
And I think, again, it's not just one simple thing. I believe the last few numbers I looked at, we're going to have between 17 to about 1,750 new freshmen on our campus. It'll be our largest
in a couple of months.
In a couple of months. We'll probably have the largest transfer population that will be joining us for the fall 2008 semester. But overall, we probably had 7,000 to 8,000 applications for those 1,700 seats.
Is that right?
That's the caliber of the applications that are coming in. Our goal is to manage that growth in a way that, one, I want to make sure that we have, obviously, the faculty in the classrooms. I don't want to put students in a classroom and have them so large that we lose that personal touch. So there are a lot of components that we're looking at that are going to enable us to make that happen.
That word quality ahead of head count I hadn't seen before, but you're right on. It's kind of the old idea of not practice makes perfect, but perfect practice. You've got to practice the essentials, and in the same way the quality head count is critical. When you think about that, what is the influx coming from? You highlighted the transfer student. Where is that population coming from? Is that local, or is it from all over the Carolinas, or all over?
Well, a good bit of the transfers are in fact coming local. We have put in several practices and procedures that we're looking at developing much stronger relationships with Horry Georgetown Tech.
Right.
In fact, this year we have hired an advisor, and that person's office is in Tech. We're looking at a lot of different ways through a bridge program that we've had in place for a couple of years, which a student who may not have all of the requirements to get into Coastal Carolina University will start at Tech, and then it's a seamless transition. And we're looking at finding ways to blend our 2 campuses so that we can make the transition a lot smoother.
And Tech knows what you're doing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is not, we'll be with President Wilson next week on the campus there at the Elizabeth Maddox Chapin Library. there on the Grand Strand campus, and sure want to talk to them about that. But the fact that they know what you're doing is a great thing. And of course, oftentimes, folks at foundation board meetings there will talk about, well, what is the big deal? Why is Coastal so hot right now and we may not be? Well, of course, he always highlights David Bennett, not David DeCenzo. And of course, Coach your superstar Ellis, that's right. Coach Ellis and so many other amazing coaches you've got and players. And athletics oftentimes has that great symbiotic relationship with academics and a campus.
And we have that relationship. You know, it's been said before that your athletics becomes your front door. And there are achievements that we're seeing in the athletic department that are giving us the awareness. We could not afford that kind. You know, to have Jerome Simpson be drafted in the second round of the draft, to have 2 football players go into the professionals, you can't buy that kind of marketing, and that just reinforces, it at least brings attention to us. Then we can tell people what the academics is about too.
Surely from my hometown where my dad teaches, a guy named Coach Krzyzewski's obviously had the impact that you would never have imagined, that folks think of Coach K before they think of Duke probably now. And in the same way, I'm sure, hopefully, they'll continue to think of Coastal first before anyone on the athletic side, but athletics are critical.
Well, they are. But I'm equally as proud of all of our athletic administration and coaches, because we truly reinforce one thing on this campus, and that is they are student athletes. They are expected to be good students, and they are. And the coaches reinforce that, which you love to see.
It speaks for itself. We've run out of time. I hope that you're willing to come back and be with us tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to a little more of Dr. David A. DeCenzo coming up next. Trying to think of a great way to wrap Dr. David A. DeCenzo Dad, as many folks call him here on campus, and I thought what better way than a recent evaluation of all aspects of the university, including its people. This is the last page of the overview, just this quick sentence. He has calmed troubled waters, improved presidential administrative credibility, opened to public inspection a variety of administrative and financial processes, dealt forthrightly with financial and audit difficulties, initiated several important academic program proposals, and begun a strategic planning process. Dr. DeCenzo's personable, problem-oriented approach to the affairs of the day has gone over well with nearly all. Under his leadership, Coastal Carolina seems poised to continue its surge forward. We got to surge forward to tomorrow. Come back for part 2 of Dr. David A. DeCenzo. Thanks so much for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.